taking this time out to join me today. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I really wanted to talk about like all the massive shift that we're seeing at the minute, what I'm seeing, what I've seen around the country the last few months, and just based on the daily conversations I'm having with so many people who are experiencing so many amazing things in their own lives. They're experiencing amazing shifts, they're seeing amazing shifts within friends and family, and it's all happening like really, really rapidly. So I thought it'd be important to talk about like what we're actually experiencing at the minute and open up that space to do so, because I think that's really important, because people aren't talking about it. You know, like it's the elephant in the room again almost. What people are talking about. So those of you who follow my content have seen the posts I've been putting out the last few days about what physical experiences people are having, whether it's ringing of the ears or lots of feeling around the forehead and the crown and the heart and all this kind of stuff. So it's important to talk about this all, because you know we're all in the same boat and we're all going to the same place and we're all striving to achieve our goals. So doing lives like this I feel is really important. So please feel free to drop a comment in the chat and just talk about what you're going through at the minute as I go through the content I want to kind of talk about. You know, say hello, let us know where you're from. It's always great to see where people are tuning in from around the world, so I really appreciate it. First thing I just wanted to quickly cover, excuse me, let me grab my brew, because you know I don't do lies about brews, we know that by now. I think many of you joining me will fully understand and feel that 2023 for many of us has been very much a year of working out who we actually are. And it doesn't matter what age you are either. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a youngster or a teenager or a pensioner or someone, you know, like myself in their early 40s. You know, it's all, we literally spent the whole 2023 having all these experiences, almost like leaning into who we actually are to the core as a person. You know, we've been through like whatever years of our lifetime, almost like basic training for now. And I say that a lot, is that like everything we've experienced up till now has almost given us the tools that we need to go into like 2024, which I feel is going to be absolutely massive. And I mean that in the best way possible. I think that 2024 is going to be all about people moving into the actual roles that we're supposed to be as you know, as humans, what we've kind of come here for. Like everything leading up to this has very much been about giving us the tools we need emotionally, physically, mentally and spiritually. You know, like we are all in essence spiritual beings, and like everybody's kind of coming into that understanding really of what we're all about. And that's what has been the beauty for me over 2023, is not only working on myself and my own path and stuff like that, but seeing it in so many amazing people, people who follow all my channels, people who come to my talks, people that have done my courses, my personal family, my personal friendship circles. You know, just seeing that massive growth within everybody has been pretty amazing. You know, I'm like, you know, I look back at myself and see what I was like 10 years ago, for example, and I'm literally a shadow of myself, you know, in a good way. But again, all those experiences were needed, all that training and the military was needed for what I'm doing now and what I'm going to be embarking on next year, which is very much all about, you know, saving our amazing, beautiful children. With many other people who have gone through exact similar paths as I have. And I think that's important for us to all recognise that, ladies and gents, in ourselves. You know, not look at what everyone else is doing or not doing this, that and the other, but actually look at yourself and what 2023 has really shown you, like showing you what you're capable of, showing you what you're really about, showing you just how powerful the mind and the body is. And for some of you, you know, tuning in, that might be something that's really come to light in the last few months, but that's okay. Okay, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is the last 3 years especially, okay, so since the start of 2020, has made us all shift into something that is very much the opposite of probably what we were in 2020. You know, it's literally pushed us into a new role. It's given us experiences, good and bad, that we needed, lessons for now. So many people have moved out of your life who aren't supposed to be there for the next stage. Many people have come into your life and I've taught you the lessons or taught you new things, you know, like people do my courses or come to my talks, for example, and I've given you the tools that you need for your next stage. And it's happening more and more. And I guarantee you, every single person watching this will have had people fall out of their lives very recently because they just don't need to be there. You don't resonate with them. But you've also would have had an abundance of new people just popping up, blah, 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 just coming out of nowhere, who you're like, whoa, I'm literally, it's like a mirror reflection of who is this person. I literally had an experience like that tonight. So I just literally met a guy for the first time at an MMA gym I'm going to be training at, who literally thinks like me, has had experiences like me. It was very bizarre, but I was literally sat there the whole time with a smile on my face going like, this interaction was meant to happen right now. And it's literally mirroring what I've been talking about, how your soul family are going to be coming in and around you like abundance, like there's no tomorrow. The synchronicities, everything else is off the charts. And we're all kind of experiencing that. So each and every one of us are having different experiences at the minute. Many of you are feeling different symptoms. Okay, many of you are feeling a lot of sensations around the head, a lot of ringing of the ears, heart flutters. You've got things like popping off in your body randomly, all this kind of stuff. So that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, we're all experiencing all kinds of great things, and we're experiencing the negative things we need to. Okay, so there's probably a lot of you tuning in, watching this, that are having little fallouts with family, with people who are blood family and stuff like that, and you're coming to the realization that, do you know what, they're just not part of my path moving forward. But the pain is that we've grown up with these people, been, you know, had relations and interactions with these people for many, many years, and the painful part is like, oh, not talking to them anymore is actually more painful than I know. But it's because we hold that blood relative programming in that scenario is what's actually making us struggle. And you know, I'm very much in that boat myself, you know, and that's why I talk about this stuff quite a lot, because I know it resonates with so many people. So we're all going to experience blood relatives kind of moving out of our life now as we go into these higher timelines. It's going to happen, and it's probably happening to many people right now who's just watching this. Okay, and like, don't be too sad and don't beat yourself up too much about it, because you can have an abundance of new people come in, your soul family, and you're all going to start connecting. Because what's happening is that the consciousness across the whole planet is like raised massively. Okay, it's raised massively, and with that, your frequency is raising and raising and raising. But there's going to be people in your blood family who's not. Okay, and they're there and have been there to teach you the lessons you need to in that scenario. Okay, so they'll start moving out of your life because they're just not on your frequency. Okay, that could actually be a husband or wife. It could actually be a mother or father. All right, you're just not going to be connecting. All right, you're going to be connecting with the people you need to connect to at this time. Okay, because our higher selves are very much integrating into our body, which is our future self. Okay, at the same time, our past stuff is leaving the body, and our physical body is feeling all of this emotion. Okay, so that's what we're all experiencing all at the same time right now. That's why many of you are having like crazy synchronicities, where you're seeing lots of your numbers, you're seeing angel numbers, you're suddenly thinking of somebody, and then it's like, boom, they text you, or you're talking out loud. So you're thinking in your mind, and then next thing, people in your field are like saying what you're saying. Okay, because that's the strength of your field now compared to what it was a long time ago. So yeah, we're all going through this in our own different ways, because we're experiencing our own stories in our own journeys. Okay, because this is what this is about, in our own game. All right, because we are all in our own game. We are in the controller of our own video game, right? So that's why none of our experiences are always going to be exactly the same. The symptoms that we experience are very similar, which is why a lot of what I'm saying right now is resonating with so many of you. Okay, so, but we experience our game in our own way, all right? And that's what this is all about. So I want to get my trusty little whiteboard out. Okay, so at the minute, at the minute, guys, we're literally now experiencing different 3 dimensions, okay? So let's just put it into 3 dimensions. 1, 2, 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3 there. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Apologies if it's back to front because of the camera. So 1 is the past. So we've got past there. Okay. We've got present down here. And then we've got future there. Okay, so we've got like 3 dimensions, and that's what we're all experiencing at the minute. So right now, many of our physical bodies, okay, the physical bodies are experiencing a lot of past life stuff because we've lived many, many past lives. Okay, so what's happening is the physical body is releasing this past life stuff. So many of you might be experiencing just random bits in your body. You feel like a pop going off, okay? But also if you have Reiki or you do certain sessions or things at night time, you're going to have, this is all leaving the body. So many of you maybe going through a lot of emotions right now, lots of crying, lots of, in the night time waking up crying, or you're doing certain practices like breathwork sessions, meditation, things like that, and a lot of tears are coming out, okay? These are all the past life traumas literally leaving the body, okay? Because we need to basically end up with our optimum body to hold the frequencies that we need, okay? So me included, like I'd probably say in the last 30 days, I've probably cried about 19, 20 of them, just for whatever reason. Someone just triggers it and it comes out, and that's what that is. So your tears are literally emotion. So it's just a physical way of you releasing that emotion. So it's emotion, energy, and motion. So the tears are literally that energy leaving the body that doesn't need to be there. All right, so all this different emotions coming out of us. So many of you are experiencing pain in the shoulders, in the traps here, okay, like real deep, all right, in the rear back. Some of you maybe feel like your wings are coming out. I've got a lot of like here at the back here, like heart expansion, so you feel like you constantly got to go like this all the time. Okay, like all of us are feeling it in loads of different ways. Yeah, just looking at the comments now, like, yeah, exactly. We're letting go of all that kind of stuff we don't need. But we've got to remember, this is all the stuff we don't need, okay? It's in the past, all right? So we've got to get rid of it, because if we don't get rid of it, we just hold it, right? So most people who understand exactly what I'm talking about have been through massive amounts of trauma in their life, abuse, toxins, addictions, all of this kind of stuff, like literally hammering our bodies, all right? But we hold it as energy in the body, okay? And then, you know, we that's why we have grudges against people. That's why we're jealous of people, and that's why, you know, we look at people like up and down like crap, all right? It's because we hold certain energy in our body that makes us feel like that in the first place. So right now, all the past life stuff, and this I'm talking about from the past of the current life, but we also hold lots of past life energy and past life trauma. So i.e. how you may have been killed in a past life. So I know that I hold past life trauma from how I was killed funny enough, in the military, from past life stuff. So I've been shedding that at the minute. And I know I've been having amazing conversations with people that are like shedding the same stuff. Like it's wild. So all the past life stuff's coming out of us. Also, the male, or we hold masculine energy and collective masculine energy. So like I've been getting a lot of pain in the back of my right knee, and I was just like, where's this come from? I've not given it any trauma, like anything. I haven't done anything in the gym, like nothing like that. But it wasn't until I spoke to the amazing Diane Gold, who's an amazing channeler, star chart reader. She was saying like the men hold collective masculine energy in the back of the knee. So that's coming out of my body at the minute, okay? And I'm sure there's other people that are experiencing different things like lower back pain, pain on the hips, pain in around the sacral and the root area, so like in the root and the groin. Okay, so at the minute, like the roots and our sacral chakras and solar plexuses are being like massively cleansed as a result of these big energies. So we're seeing a lot of that being flushed out. So we're feeling it as physical pain in the physical body. Okay, so this is when we then get into the physical. So there's past life stuff, and all the past stuff's coming out of us, all the traumas. Okay, and we feel it in the present, in the physical body, all right, as pain, like here. So we're feeling the pain in the bottom of the physical body, in the hips, in the lower back, stuff like that. And I've had surgery on my lower back, so like I'm feeling little niggles in there at the minute and stuff. It's been a bit uncomfortable, but I know what it's all about. So we're literally getting like almost like psychic surgery done to us to upgrade our bodies in the weak points where we need it. So again, many of you watching this might be feeling pain in and around the weak areas where you suffered trauma over your lifetime. Okay, so I've had surgery on my lower back, so at the minute I'm getting like lots of niggles and pinching pains around where the sciatic nerves are and stuff. I've had surgery, but I know that's like I'm getting like psychic surgery. That's why we're feeling it as physical pain. Also, in the in the present body, we're also seeing loads and loads and loads of shadow self coming out in people. All right. So at the minute, it might be yourself. It may be people that who suddenly have become quite erratic. They're attacking people, not like weapons. I mean like verbally, online. They're complete change of character. All right, they've completely flipped, and they're very rash and brash and blah blah blah. All right, so this is what's coming out. So it's their shadow self is being presented to us right now. All right, I'm sure you all know somebody in your circles and your family that are literally going through this. So they're actually going through this at the same time their root, their sacral, and then the solar plexus chakra are being cleansed. All right, and it's all coming out at once. All right, it's stuff that needs to be cleared. So that's why, if someone says anything negative about me, I don't bite to it because I don't need to. It's like it's just their reflection of me and them going through what they need to do, and that's literally how I see it. So I don't interact with it. I don't need to. All right, it's their shit. Right, literally their stuff. They need to get rid of to make room for the higher frequencies for them. All right, so we're feeling the physical pains and niggles and everything else at the moment. The shadow self's coming out very, very good at the minute. And at the same time here, we have our future self, our higher self, that is actually integrating into the body. Okay, so the higher self is coming into the body. And you know this because you're getting lots of earring in, so you're getting loads of downloads for the DNA upgrades and everything that you need. All right? You've got your future self coming in, so your intuition is massively grown, okay, like massively grown. If you're watching this, your intuition is obviously miles more than what it was 6 months ago, otherwise you wouldn't be watching my content, okay? So your future self is integrating into your body, okay? So at the same time, you're clearing the shit that you don't need anymore, all right? Your shadow self's working its way through what it needs to be able to hold the higher frequencies in this physical body through your higher self. All right, so all the downloads you're going to be getting are for a reason. They're for you. Okay, that's what you need. So all the earring that you're getting, all right, isn't all the 5G towers like trying to poison you. It's your higher self, right? Your soul family, your galactic family are giving you the downloads that you need for your future role. Okay, because you are far more beyond this human meat suit than what you've ever been taught. And I'm sure many of you are really understanding that now. All right? We're all experiencing it in different ways. And the beauty of it is, so many of our kids, my kids right now are like, oh my God, Dad, my third eye's going crazy. Like, we just stop being around me. Okay? I'm like sat at the dinner table on Christmas Day with my 9-year-old nephew. I sat there and built Lego for 3 hours on purpose because I know that he's getting a lot of earring in and he's not interested in the TV or anything else like that. He's on about creating and stuff like that. And one of the first things he said to me was, look at all them sat in there being glued to the television while we're doing creative stuff. Like my 9-year-old nephew saying that. So it's like people's children are going through the same thing as well. Their intuition's going through the roof. They're not connecting to all the left brain learning that schools are teaching them. which is all logic and reason, when it's all about intuition and creativity for us. So even our kids are racing through this right now, and we've really got to protect them on this, guys. My nephew also said to me, I'm going to bed at night time, and then I'm like thinking about stuff, and then it's happening the next day. Like, it's really weird. And I was like, mate, you're literally manifesting your reality. That's what it is. And he's like, yeah, this is a 9-year-old. Okay, so you can see now why everything around us is designed to stop these abilities coming through. Okay, this is what it's all designed for. Everything is an attack on our human consciousness and our abilities, okay, and being enlightened, all right? Because you cannot control a whole planet of people who are fully enlightened. You cannot put them in fear. You cannot put them into sections and countries and borders and all the rest of this stuff, all right? You can't dumb them down with television, and you can't dumb them down with a bullshit education system, all right? You can't do any of that kind of stuff if a person's fully enlightened. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now across the whole country, across the whole world, with Israel and everything else like that. We're literally like that. That's why all of this is happening, right? It's literally a dark versus light battle, because everything's designed to stop us doing what we're capable of, us and our children. All right, so dumb the parents down, so they dumb the children down, etc., etc. We've all seen that over the last 3 years. And I'm sure that's been one of the biggest catalysts for people to be a lot more enlightened to what's really going on in the world and what we're actually capable of as human beings. So that's the 3 dimensions, ladies and gents, the body that you're feeling right now. Now, one of the other key things that we need, like what people don't really take into account, okay, is I'm just going to do like an amazing graph. All right. So let's call this one here awakening, okay, and this one here is time. All right, so bear in mind time's only linear in the 3rd dimension, but for the benefit of this graph, we're going to call it time, okay? So as people are awakening through the 3rd dimension, which we're all in, and what we're experiencing now, okay, in 3D time, all right, everybody's journey is different, okay? So let's say, for example, somebody who has always been aware of the Illuminati and, that we're spiritual beings and we're here for a reason and stuff like that, but they started awakening to that in the 70s, okay? Their line, right, is slow and gradual because they've known about it for a long time, like compared to now, all right? So let's put the 70s there, and then 2024, okay, at the far end here. So theirs would actually be quite, their awakening was quite fast, but over time, it's quite like, it's kind of like that. It's quite gradual, quite gradual, steady. And during that period, like you've got, say, 2020 right there, which is when most people across the planet started really awakening to everything, because obviously we were hit with the big scandemic and stuff. That was actually a catalyst to awakening so many people. All right, so 2020 was there. And by the way, there's no judgment on here. It doesn't matter what decision you made, in regards to your pro-narrative, this, that, and the other. 2020 was a big catalyst to your awakening. So if you're watching this and you were very much in the fear-based modality and thought that the whole world was had a deadly virus, that's absolutely fine, right? If you decided that you thought at the time the government's new medicine was the right thing for you and your family, you're right, okay? That doesn't matter. What matters is that particular soul choice point that you made, at that time, all right, is part of your awakening process, okay? So everyone's graph is completely different. So I really want to reiterate that, because there's no categories here. There's no jabbed, unjabbed. There's no government, pro-government. There's no none of this, right? We're all in the same category. We are one, right? I am you, you are me, okay? So it doesn't matter what decision you made at that time. It was for you, and it's part of your awakening for now, all right? because it's going to teach you that you are the most badass self-healer you have ever seen. That's the whole point why you needed to go through that experience, okay? So you've got the person who maybe, you know, since the 70s has been walking around Glastonbury with a stick with the crystals strapped to the head, and I've been awake for 50 years. You know, that type of person. You know nothing. Still got plenty of ego there, right? The ego mind coming through. So they got this nice gradual one here. And then you've got people who were maybe born in this kind of 70s, but have gone through quite a rigid indoctrination process, always believed the government was right, you know, has to watch the royal speech every year, and then EastEnders on Christmas Day night, the sea's been killed, all that kind of stuff. They've gone through almost like a flatline awakening, and then they get to like 2020, pandemic hits, and they're just like, what the hell? This ain't right, blah, 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 and it's gone like that. Okay? So everyone's life's completely different. You have people like myself maybe, who I wasn't born in the 70s, but obviously I was born early 80s. But then my awakening's been very much, I've always been really curious about everything. Like since I was a kid, I've always looked at the stars, I've always like moved around everywhere. So my line is kind of like here, because I wasn't getting caught up in all that bullshit. I was always asking questions. My mum and dad got me removed from religious education when I was in year 9 because I refused to go to any of the lessons, so I didn't agree with the content they were teaching. And I did extra maths and physics, and funny enough, look what I do now. It's all about metaphysics, all right? So mine's been quite like that. And then obviously I had my experience in 2003 when I got severely ill of the anthrax vaccines before going to Iraq, right? So that was my personal experience that I needed to give me the idea of what Big Pharma was all about. And I was like going, this ain't right. How can all these sick soldiers be injected with stuff before going to war? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that was my thing for that. So then I've gone from here to then when it comes to 2020, mine was like fucking like that. Okay? So the reason why I wanted to show you these different examples is because everybody in your life right now, okay, has got a completely different line on that graph. All right, including you. Okay, so we need to be very, very, very respectful of that. Okay, so just because you think that, oh, my family's asleep, they're not necessarily asleep. All right, everyone who's going through this period right now was always going to go through this period. Okay, so it was really important. It's really important that everyone's go through all their own experiences at different times, you know, for a reason, because they needed these experiences for what we're going to go into now. All right, so we can't be angry at everybody. This is why the whole pandemic thing was put in place in the first place. It was to disrupt everything that's happening now. All right, so it was always going to happen. So it started in 2012. Okay, the actual ascension awakening process started in 2012. That's why the London Olympics were in UK, because Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the planet. All right, so it was as soon as the heart frequency raised, that's why the Olympics was always going to be there. That's why the Olympic ceremony was carried out the way it was, you know, like really nefariously with those big demons and like crazy needles and that on hospital beds, right? That's why that happened in 2012. All right, it was all designed then to sort of ramp up, to start trying to slow us down from what's happening right now. So since 2012, you got a massive increase in the amount of energy drinks that are being sold on the market, and they've got the kids on. They started getting people into the mindset of vaping instead of smoking. All right, it started slowly ramping up there. So they started ramping up the price of cigarettes, okay, which has got tobacco in, the nicotine, and started replacing them with vapes, telling them it's healthier. So again, they started promoting that to their own children. That's why you've got so many children now that are vaping. In my son and daughter's school, in my son's school, he was saying that year 7 and 8 are banned from going to the toilet because they can't go a whole lesson without needing to vape anymore. Okay, so you can see now the gradual nudge on humanity. All right, look at the rise in the amount of fast foods now, the rise of sugars, the rise of everything. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous, like all the toxins. So you go through every single town centre now. I've been around the country doing talks, I see it. You go around the country now, every town centre, you just see loads of guys and women just like look like crap, can of Monster in one hand, a vape in the other. All right, you can literally see the social engineering on people that's been done. You know, it's absolutely mind-boggling, but you can see it. If you really open your eyes to it, you can see it. You know, so many people now just look really sick because of all the seed oils and the food, the fluoride in the water, the energy drinks, the fizzy drinks, the advertising for everything, you know. And then you've got influencers like KSI and Logan Wankface pushing their drink, you know, Prime. It's like, which is full of absolute horrendous chemicals, and they don't care about your children. They just care about money. So since 2012, that ramp's gone like that. Okay, fast. So by the time 2020 occurred, everyone's already in quite a dumbed down position, like just on the hamster wheel, just doing the same stuff all the time. All right. So when all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with like you know, this crazy worldwide event, everyone's fear levels, and their level of consciousness gets tested instantly, poof, like that. And then that's how the power of collective consciousness works. So if you've got a certain area which is very low vibration, everyone's kind of miserable, this, that, and the other, they're going to be easy to put in fear. All right, so you hit the collective consciousness with some fear, and what happens? The collective consciousness manifests that fear. All right, so that's why every country experienced things completely differently around the world with their own governments when it came to the pandemic. They're all working hand in hand with each other, all right, but they've all got behavioural scientists, teams of behavioural scientists. We had it here, SAGE Group, you remember them? Okay, 20 scientists, but yeah, 18 are behavioural scientists. So they've already studied the way the human mind works. They've already studied for years prior to 2020 how we operate, how we buy, how we consume, what puts us in fear, what we do. And that's the whole point of Facebook and Instagram and everything else like that, is to collect everybody's data, okay, for these people. All right, that's all they are. They're data collecting farms, but they give us the illusion. It's like, oh, I'll show my family what I was having for dinner last night. I'll show my family where I was yesterday. Okay, literally, that's all these social media things are. They're great for us to connect and for you guys to tune into like stuff like this. Yeah, absolutely. But if you're using it for an educational purposes and constantly learning, but in essence, that their goal is to give people that platform to collect everyone's data, because then they can see everything we do. All right, that's why you have a thumbprint to sign into your phone or your laptop. All right, everything's about consuming your energy and your DNA. So when we understand that fully, you can understand the bigger picture of what's really going on around the world. All right, so you can see. And that's what helps you to become more enlightened, come out of those states of fear and guilt and shame where they want everybody, okay? And you go into a much more higher vibrational frequency of like love, abundance, and stuff like that. Again, that's why they don't want anyone. So what we're seeing now with this shift is everyone's being shown all the bad stuff, all the nefarious stuff, all the ugly stuff, all the dark people, all the bad people, because we need to be shown it all whilst your level of consciousness is raising, so you can then go, I get it now, I can accept the information, it makes so much more sense, I'm joining the dots a lot more better because your intuition's now raised, right? And this is what's happening right now. This is why the energy that we're being hit with, the photonic light we're being hit with, is upgrading all our DNA to what it should have been originally, all right, which is crystalline template, right? This is going back like centuries, okay? So going back to its crystalline template, that's why all of these children, all right, are intuitively knowing what the fuck is going on now, and then while they're struggling in school with the bullshit systems, because they are the crystalline children. That's why everything is designed to get to the children, all right? The energy drinks, the vapes, the pornography, the Grand Theft Auto, the Call of Duty, like the gazillion vaccines they're supposed to have by the time they're even 16. You know, it's all designed to shut down their third eye in their amazing little heads. All right, so if you can understand that, you can literally see this everywhere. All right, you can see every angle. All right, the amount of subliminal messaging in the cartoons and the way they just like nefariously put things in there, you know, the paedophilia around Disney, like all of it, it's just all designed to try and get at the kids, to keep them, all right, and their gifted little selves as dumbed down as possible. So now it's our job boys and girls. That's the way I see it. This is our job now, okay, as adults, to get around these amazing children, learn from our amazing children because they can teach us so much. You know, I've shared a lot recently. I learned how to play chess from a 10-year-old. I've learned some guitar from a 7-year-old. You know, and I challenge everybody to learn something from a child right now, right? Because they don't come from a place of ego. They don't come from that place of authority like, I'm older, I know more than you, right? They get excited, they want to teach you, right? So we need to get around these children, understand that there are literally wrong-uns on every corner of every street in this country and most countries, and that's a big project and things we're going to be working with next year, as many of you know now, and that's why we all need to come together now and make this all about raising the awareness of how bad this real pandemic is, of all the children going missing, and getting them back, and harnessing, nurturing these children. Right, many of us, including myself, you know, didn't grow up being particularly nurtured or loved and stuff like that because of the programming and all our parents. Okay, so it's our turn now to really show everybody what it's all about. And I know many of you now are experiencing a lot of ear ringing. I know many of you now are experiencing a lot of like sensations in the forehead, so sort of like around here in the center of the eyebrows, across your eyebrows. Maybe it feels like you've got a TENS machine almost on your head. Maybe you feel a lot of sensations here at the back of the head, sensations like we feel like your head's opening almost. Right, so that is your third eye and your crown very much coming online, and you're actually connecting to your higher self, which is amazing, right? Some of you getting like a lot of heart flutters, like I was mentioned earlier, like you've got to stretch your back out, like around the middle of the back, because that's where you're getting a lot of heart expansion. So your heart chakra is really opening, and it's connecting to your throat. So you're speaking your truth, okay? You're being more vocal, you're speaking more assertively, you know, meticulously, especially the guys, all right? This has been a big thing. Guys are actually speaking up now, so the guys are speaking their truth. It's then connecting to your third eye, so your intuition's massively going up. You're just being so differently connected. You're seeing life differently. You're loving nature. You don't want to watch TV as much. You're going off sport like I have, you know, and then your crown's just opening because you're connecting with your higher self. So your future self now is guiding you. So tap into that. All right. So if you're not now already, start freaking meditating, ladies and gents, because this is where it's all at. All right. Go into meditation, connect with your higher self, where all the answers are, to all the keys to your universe and everything that you need to know in this lifetime, all right? Who you need to connect with, what you need to do next, what, you know, and start getting used to feeling the sensation in the body, all right? We're so distracted with all the shit, aren't we? This is the time, absolutely. And this is why I teach meditation. This is why I write meditations. This is why I deliver so many meditations. This is why I do all the breathwork stuff with everybody, okay? And why I teach people like how to expand our energy fields. I'm actually sat right now in my office, in my downstairs treatment room. I've got the Orinoco healing pods. You can see them. And at the end of there, look, see? And I've got the Orinoco healing pods, okay, which is all about GANs, plasma, energy, and expanding our fields and setting intentions to our fields and consciousness. Right? And people need to spend 10-15 minutes on here, and the way it elevates manifestation is like next level. And this is the reason why I've done this live in here today, so that I'm sending this intention and everything I've said and the vibration of my voice and everything I've just talked about to you via this energy. Okay, this is how big and powerful all this is, ladies and gents. So the more we get educated on, you know, advanced frequency vibration, and how we actually really work as a human, all right, and what we're capable of and how powerful we are, if you educate yourself on that as kind of like a priority, all right, and doing meditation and doing stuff like that, watch your life literally go like that. Watch that graph I was drawing about your line just go like this. Okay, because you'll see very quickly how easy it is to become the most enlightened, energetic, fucking awesome being that you are, you know. And that's why I do my courses, ladies and gents. Like this, like I meditated my courses. So all the content of my courses has come through my meditation. I've literally channeled the content onto PDFs and then deliver it via Zooms, right? And you can all do the same, and there's nothing that can stop you, like nothing. It's only the limiting beliefs and the bullshit that we're faced with that stops you from doing any of this kind of stuff, because we then attach fear to it, all right? You get a bill through the door, oh my God, I can't eat, I've got to pay this bill. And that's why so many people are struggling at the minute, because they're being priced out of everything. Again, it's to keep people in fit. So my courses are truly important, like, to me and to everyone that does them. And the people that have been doing all my courses or come to my talks, achieving just fantastic things. And it's all it is just a reflection of my role in this lifetime and what I'm here to do for the people. Okay, and that's why you don't see me going actively out. I don't bash other people online. I don't do all this kind of stuff. I very much stay in my lane, because I'm on my mission. Okay, and my mission is to raise the level of consciousness en masse on this planet via talks, podcasts, lives, courses, etc., etc. I'm running another course, a 5-day course, which is basically been rebranded. Okay, it's called Unplugged, Mission Consciousness Unplugged, where I teach every single person how to completely unplug from all this crap, right? Completely unplug, okay? I'm going to take you through how to meditate properly, go into deep meditation. I'm going to teach you all about breath work. I'm going to do breath work sessions with you, which literally take you off planet. Because I then teach you about astral healing, all right? A very advanced frequency vibration, hermetic principles, universal laws. I'm going to connect you to your soul family, to your star family, so you actually meet them, all right? And your spirit animals, like all this kind of stuff. And then I'll teach you about astral travel and remote viewing, etc., etc. Because every single person watching this video can do it all and then some, all right? So many people that have done all my courses are doing all of this now. Okay, they're talking to each other in all the chat groups still, because I keep them all open. They're all talking to each other in the chat groups still, and I go in there all the time, seeing them. Oh, I did this awesome astral travel last night. I did this amazing remote viewing session. Oh, I'm doing this now in my life. I've quit my job, etc. So I've unplugged from this. It's just, every single group's different, but it's all amazing. And I can't wait to get started again. So my next course is on the 8th of January till the 12th. So it's Monday to Friday, and it's 8 p.m. each evening UK. So that's 3 p.m. EST, and I believe it's about 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Seaboard time. So each day we do live calls. It's different lessons each day. I've done it so it's in like little blocks, and you get a workbook for every single day. You get a free copy of my new meditation album, which is on my website. You get a 3 months membership to my online platform, where I take weekly meditations and breathwork sessions. And then you're in a family chat group, which will become family for life, because every course I've ran so far, all the members are like meeting up with each other. They're doing their own private Zoom calls. They're doing remote viewing sessions with each other. And it's a real pleasure and an honor, really, I guess, to have created that, but to bring so many people together. It's been probably one of the main blessings that I've got from that, and which I'm thoroughly looking forward to carrying on in 2024. Because next year I'll be going around doing lots of events where I'm going to be doing we're going to be doing sound baths, breath work sessions, like kind of some one-to-one work. And I'm actually run them as events, rather than me just doing talks. So look out for dates on my website for them. But I wish you all the best, and I hope that everyone has got a lot from 2023 and they've learned a lot of lessons that they need going into 2024. I know I have, and I will continue to do so, and I'll continue to share that with you all. Thank you for all your amazing support, really, more than anything. Whether it's the podcast, whether it's the talks, or being part of our community, like whatever that is, everyone brings so much amazing energy to everything, and I love doing what I do, and I'm living my role. I am on my soul's mission. So if you very much want to be a part of that, ladies and gents, and help evolve and invest in yourself, please join me. That's all I ask. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day wherever you are, and I will see you in 2024. Much love.